everybody, welcome back to Vanland. We have another exciting video for you. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Limited Slip Differential, which is an off-road upgrade that you really need to take a look at if you plan to have your van in any sketchy conditions whatsoever. We will actually go over what is the Limited Slip Differential. We have the guys from Off-Highway Vans who designed this product coming into the shop, so we'll talk to them about the product as well. And then we're actually gonna put it in my van. I'm gonna test it for you guys, and we're gonna see if this really adds to the performance the way that we think it will. All right, let's get started. Before we get into talking about the Limited Slip Differential, let's talk about what is a differential. So located right here on the rear axle of the van is the rear differential. And what a differential does on a vehicle is allows each of the two wheels that are connected to this axle to spin at different speeds. So if you're driving down the road and you're going around a corner, the outside wheel is always turning at significantly higher RPM than the inside wheel. And to prevent the axle, like a fixed axle, from having to slip to accommodate that, this contraption is put in the van, which is a differential, and it's full of large gears and rings with teeth in them. I'm not going to get into the details of exactly what this is. There's plenty of videos on it, but just to summarize, it allows these two wheels to spin at different speeds. Due to the design of this piece of equipment, there is a problem that is caused when the wheels get onto surfaces with limited traction. So what ends up happening if there's limited traction on either of the rear wheels is that they begin to slip. Think, having your tires on ice or snow or sand or mud. And when one wheel starts to slip, the way the standard differential works is that most of the power from the shaft is applied to the wheel that's slipping, which basically causes it to dig a hole. And then the other wheel, which might have better traction, gets almost no power at all. The end result of this is that it's very easy in limited traction to get even a four-wheel drive van stuck. So now we've come to the Limited Slip Differential, which actually solves for that problem when the mechanism senses through a clutch pack that one of the wheels is slipping, then power is actually transferred to the wheel with traction, kind of reversing the problem that the differential creates on its own. So what that results in is significantly better traction and no digging of holes with the tires. So ultimately getting stuck far less often and having more confidence in places that otherwise can be a challenge for the Sprinter vans. Having said all that, I just want to make it clear before we go any further that this is not a 4x4 upgrade. This is an off-road upgrade, meaning that it definitely works on two-wheel drive vans. And as a matter of fact, there's a case to be made that that's really where this becomes an important product, because if you have four-wheel drive already, you have a bit better performance in those types of conditions we talked about. But with a two-wheel drive van, if you get one of the rear tires spinning, then your traction and your power basically goes to almost nothing. Just to let everybody know, this is the perfect upgrade for two-wheel drive vans anytime that you want more traction on the rear wheels, which is pretty much all the time. This is the standard differential. The Limited Slip Differential that we're installing was designed and is made by Off-Highway Vans. They're actually coming into the shop and they're gonna do the installation and kind of oversee it with us. They actually did a great video that you guys should watch. It goes into the specifics of how their Limited Slip Differential works in terms of power distribution and the traction, different dynamics that you're gonna get. So we'll link to that down in the description. So after this video, just hop onto that and you can get a more technical explanation of actually how this works. Okay, so let's do it. I am super stoked. I'm getting this Limited Slip Differential put on my van that I drive. And as you know, I've been stuck many times before in my van and I'm kind of over it. So this is an upgrade that I'm super excited to have done. The guys from Off-Highway Vans are coming in, so we're gonna ask them some specific questions about it, and yeah, let's get to it. Today, we're lucky enough to have the guys from Off-Highway Van visiting us as we're doing a Limited Slip Differential install. So this is Aaron. You developed the product, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Aaron Fott. I'm the owner of Off-Highway Van, and yeah, we developed a limited slip diff for the late model Sprinters.
Right. So this to me is a feature that I didn't know that I needed, but now that it's available, we definitely think it's going to be a major upgrade to the four-wheel drive vans. And I'm sure you realized this a long time ago. What kind of inspired you to get into making this product?
Well, we're based out of Utah, and we have a lot of our clients take their vans skiing, and the four-wheel drive system on the Sprinters is notoriously bad when you get into really slippery conditions like snowbanks and whatnot, because the four-wheel drive really is two-wheel drive. One rear wheel's driving and one front wheel's driving, and with that, you can easily end up in a situation where you get stuck even though you've got four-wheel drive.
Right, and I can definitely attest to this. I've been stuck in multiple different Sprinters. Sometimes it was my fault, but other times it was a situation that I felt I should be able to get out of with four-wheel drive, but what I had instead was a rear wheel just spinning and digging a hole.
Yeah, the problem with an open differential is that the power goes to the wheel with the least traction, which is the one that's on a piece of ice or in a mud spot or whatnot. So if you get that thing into mud or ice, it's going to spin and your van won't go forward. So that's the obvious impetus for doing the limited slip. That takes the power that's coming to the rear axle and splits it to both wheels. So the wheel with traction will get power and it'll move your van forward and keep you from being stuck.
Right, and that is the big problem, right? I mean, if you get one that is spinning, the other one doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, the Mercedes puts in some very fancy electronics to try to distribute some of that force over to the wheel that is slipping. It will apply the brakes on the spinning side to try to transmit power. But that system is an electronic band-aid for a mechanical problem, and so we put in the mechanical solution with the limited slip diff.
Right. Cool, so we're putting this on my van, which is a four-wheel drive. Does it work for the two-wheel drive vans as well?
Yeah, it's a great addition to a two-wheel drive van, especially right now where a lot of people in California already have two-wheel drive vans and they're going to the beach or they're heading to Baja and they're in the sand. That's a perfect opportunity to use that limited slip diff. It'll keep you from getting stuck in the sand. It's a great upgrade for the two-wheel drive vans.
Right. So say for myself or one of our clients that decides to go ahead and get this upgrade, what's the biggest difference that they're going to feel when driving the van, and in what conditions?
The biggest difference you're going to find is when you're in that soft, low traction scenario. Let's say you're in a snowy parking lot or you're on a beach. You're just going to feel confident. Your van is not going to want to dig a hole. It is not going to want to slide around. And the beauty of the limited slip that we have developed is it is a fully passive system. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to hit a button. There's no like, do I need to put this in them? Do I need to turn the limited slip on or do I not? It's just there. And if the road is slick because it's got rain on it or some snow on it or even some dust or gravel on it, that limited slip is going to react mechanically and put power where the traction exists. Right. So that's to me the biggest thing about that is you don't have to think about it. It's just there and it's going to add safety and add traction whenever you need it.
Right. And what I can already anticipate is that this is not just for going off-road and getting into conditions that might be a little sketchy. If you drive a Sprinter, especially a 170, you know that just coming out of a parking lot, it's really easy to get one of the tires off the ground. It happens all the time. So in that same condition, if that one is spinning, the other one, you're really relying on the momentum to get you up, not actual traction, right?
Yeah, if you're pulling out of a camp spot and you have to go up over a bump and the one wheel gets a little light, you don't have to worry about reaching down and finding it and getting it into four-wheel drive. It's going to pull you through without even having to think about it. So there's just a lot of practical uses of this where it'll just do something that you may not even recognize that it's doing it, but you won't get stuck.
Right. Great. Well, we appreciate you guys coming out so much. I'm really excited about this product because I know that our clients, this is something they're looking for. So it is a newer product on the market. We're excited to be getting into it, and yeah, what can we expect, kind of into the coming year? How's the supply going to be on these units?
Yeah, we have a lot of units available right now. So if you're in the need for this or you think you might be interested in it, give Jeremy a call and he'll be able to explain the details. But we certainly have supply available and we can install them right away.
Right. Okay, So let's stop talking about it and start doing it. We've got the case pulled off, the case cover right now pulled off, and we're actually going to drop this entire axle and get it set up with the limited slip diff, right? So yeah. I'm super excited.
Yeah, we'll get it pulled out and get going on it.
All right, thanks so much. So the places that I like to take my van really do require that we have some extra help from the drivetrain to get us out. So I like to surf. That often puts us in sandy conditions like this. I like to go to the snow and ski and snowboard like I'm sure a lot of you do. That puts us in situations where the traction is also much reduced. And anytime you get off of a main road onto a trail into the wilderness, then you are going to be in a situation, probably like I have been, where it's very likely that you can get your van stuck. We're out here today putting the limited slip differential to the test in some sand because this is a new product and we want to make sure that we believe in it if we're offering it to our community. So I've gone ahead and put the unit in my van and we're just starting to put it through the paces and really see if this is a feature that's reliable, that basically works every time you need it to, and one that ultimately we can recommend to you guys. I'm gonna get in the van and we'll see if we can get these tires spinning and not get stuck. All right, let's do it. I'm actually already starting to feel a little nervous. This is some pretty soft sand and I definitely think this is a spot that I would be prone to getting stuck in if I didn't have the right equipment. Yeah, so this is really where it's supposed to come in handy. So we started to get dug in a little bit. Sketchy. So yeah, this is really where we're going to be putting it to the test. I hope that this will give us the traction we need to get out of here. Oh boy, here we go.
Digging yourself out.
This is what you do. That's what it's all about. Getting unstuck when you got stuck. By yourself, of course. There's a bunch of friendly people around here that would have been more than happy to help us get out. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, that's the difference between like a good day and a really bad weekend happening right there. So man, very impressed. I could feel it. It was just digging, 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 bouncing. And if I didn't let it go too fast with the RPMs on the rear wheels, just kind of bounced up and down, and eventually I felt the traction and bam, pulled out. So that was awesome. As you can see here, these ruts, you can actually see the van was bouncing up, traction and releasing. Without the limited slip differential, this would have just been one deep rut that one of the tires would have been stuck in. And I almost say for sure there's absolutely no way we would have gotten out of that. I'm just thinking of all the places I can go now that I was afraid to go before. Stoked. Final thoughts, we just put it to the test in sand and the limited slip differential performed beautifully. We actually got stuck for a minute and just cleared out around the tires a little bit, but really the traction did it all. And as you guys can see from the video, I still have the stock tires on my van, which are gonna get upgraded, but as of right now, they're pretty bald, and that made a huge difference as well. If we would have had some new tires on there, some off-road tires, and aired them down a little bit, that would have been easier. But it just kind of goes to show you that even with the stock vehicle, even if you have a two-wheel drive, and even if you roll with the factory tires and they're bald, this feature came through in the clutch. So we're super stoked. Can't wait to do more tests of this for you guys, so stay with us. And as always, thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next time.